So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a test or quiz in Schoology that you could use as an online assessment. So when you create a test or quiz, you can make it in two different places. You can put it in your resources folder, or you could create it in the actual course that needs the test or quiz. I'm going to create this one in the course. The other thing I want to point out is that it doesn't actually have to be a test or quiz. It can just be an online assignment that you want the computer to grade for you as well. You would still use this same feature. So to create the test or quiz, you click on Add Materials and then Add Test or Quiz. You give the quiz a name. You can pick a due date. You don't have to. That's up to you. The category, you do need to pick a category. I put all mine in a category that I created called assignments. If you have your gradebook synced to eSchool, then you would have to have grading categories for formative and summative, but that's not for this video. There's really no reason why you would pick anything but numeric for scale. And then there are some other options down here like individually assign to different students and publishing to your students. You do have to have this green for them to see it, but if you're making it and you're not ready for them to see it, you can have it unpublished for now. And they won't be able to see it in the course. So here is where you add questions. You can click the Add Question button and you can pick a type of question to create. If you want to just type your questions in right here, they're not already ready, then you would pick the question type, you would make it. You can also choose from question banks, and I'm going to make another video that shows how to do that. So really quickly, what is the color of the sun? I could change up the font, the different things if I want to. This looks a lot like Word. This Insert Content button, if you needed to add an image or a picture, a chart, whatever, you could do that from here. You could also add a video, a link. If you're a math teacher, you could add an equation. If you needed a particular symbol, you could do that as well. So all that is here under this Insert Content button. Right here, audio video recording, which might be useful for ESL students, reading the question for them, or for maybe a foreign language class. If you needed some kind of an audio recording, you could do that here. Let's see, my choices are going to be red, yellow, green, and blue. You have to pick the correct answer. I'm going to pick yellow. The Show Feedback button, you can actually give feedback to the students on why those choices are right or wrong. At the end, you don't have to do that, but you can see it shows you how to do that. Okay, if you needed to remove a blank, let's say I only wanted 3 answer choices, I could remove that last blank. I could also add more blanks. Let's say I wanted 5 answer choices. I can do that. Okay, make sure to pick the correct answer choice. I'm going to randomize my answer choices so they come in whatever order. I could allow partial credit. I could also make it a timed question. 1 point apiece. This little target button here, this lets you actually go in and create learning objectives for the question, and the TEKs are already loaded in there if you have TEKs. And so you can go in that and do that for every question. That's useful if you're using the Mastery feature where you can track your students and how they're doing. Again, that's not something I'm going to show you right now. So then just create question. And there's that question right there. I could add as many questions as I wanted. Again, I could also go back in and add from question banks. Once my quiz is done and ready, then I would click on the Settings feature. I could add instructions right here. You don't have to. Submission, so this one gets you. So if it's disable, then the students won't be able to take the test. They'll be able to see it if it's published, but they won't be able to actually take it. Make sure you enable it. You can enable it until Friday at midnight, or from Monday at 8 a.m. until Monday at 5 p.m., but it needs to be enabled for the students to take it. You could create a time limit if you wanted to. However many minutes you want to give them to take this quiz. You don't want them taking more than 30 minutes. And then you can say they can take it however many times. I'm going to say they can take it 3 times. I'm going to grade it by the highest score. I'm going to go back up and enter that in my instructions. You may take this quiz. So I chose the highest grade to take, but I could have taken the last grade, no matter if it was the highest, or I could have taken an average of the 3 times. I want to randomize the order that I give my questions in. And then page breaks, you can see there it shows you what to do. You could have a Spanish keyboard. Question review lets you know, lets them at the end go back in and see a page with all their answers, just so they can kind of look over it again. It can be confusing. Sometimes the kids forget to submit at that point. So just be aware of that. Make sure they know that they have to submit after viewing their questions, or else they'll forget to turn it in. Resumable. You can make it to where it doesn't resume if once they get out of it, then it's done. That way they can't go home and finish the quiz. My only caveat to that is that if you do this and their computer has problems, the battery dies or the Wi-Fi kicks them out, then it's going to automatically submit. They will not be able to resume it. However, you can, as the teacher, go in, find that quiz, and click unsubmit and let them fix it. However, it just is going to take more time on your part, and there are a lot of Wi-Fi issues. So that would be a personal choice. Maybe for a really short quiz, it'd be okay, but for a test, maybe not. But that's personal. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, it's resumable, and view submissions. You can say no, so when they turn it in, they get their grade, but they don't get to see anything. Yes, they turn it in, they get their grade. They can see their answer choices, but they can't see, so they can see if it was right or wrong, but they won't see the right answer. Or yes with correct answers, which gives them that immediate feedback. This is the right answer, or this is the wrong answer, and this is the one that was right. And if on that, when you were making the quiz, you add submit feedback on each of those questions, they would even be able to see why you said they got it wrong. So that's personal choice. Printing options. I will tell you that Schoology quizzes do not print well. So they print, but it might be 10 questions and it might be 6 pages worth of printing. So don't plan on printing from this unless it's an absolute emergency. You may want to have those questions in another, in a Word file or however. Okay, and then don't forget to hit Save Changes. And that's all there is to making a quiz. We created our questions. We fixed the settings. You could preview your quiz here and check it and make sure everything's okay. Results. This will be where the grades that the kids make show up. I'm going to make another video to show you that. One last thing I want to show you. So after you've created your quiz and you've done everything you needed to do, and you go back over into the course. So here is quiz number 2 that I created. Remember, we made it unpublished, so the students wouldn't be able to see this while I'm working on it. Maybe they don't need it for another 3 weeks. So then to publish it, I would click here, and then you can see here I could edit it, I can publish it. Now it's published, now the kids would be able to see it. Edit would let me change these features here. But if I need to do anything to the actual questions or the settings, you just click on the name of it. And then you can go in here and add more questions, change it, change the settings, do whatever you need to do. Make sure you do hit Save Changes at the end. And that is now everything you need to know.